everyone, welcome back to yet another video. I hope you guys have been well. I know I have. If you are new, hi, my name is Brenda, but you can call me Chio. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you enjoy it and I hope that you decide to become part of the family. Real quick, I want to apologize if the lighting changes at all during this video. I am filming during the day and the sun's gonna be in and out all the time. In this video, I want to talk about Elisa Lam. This is the most mysterious and just one of the weirdest cases I ever heard of. So let's jump on it. You guys, I'm just now noticing my necklace is backwards again. Oh my god. And you know why? Because my Brenda necklace, I have to put that one on in a weird way. So I keep thinking I have to put this one on the same way. But oh my god, I'm so slow. I'm sorry. 21-year-old Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel on January 26th of 2013. She was from Canada and she was going on what she called her West Coast tour. Elisa had depression and also a bipolar disorder. So this trip was kind of a way for her to just relax and just have her alone, I guess her alone time. But real quick, let's talk about the Cecil Hotel. The Cecil Hotel has a lot of bad history, like multiple serial killers have stayed in that hotel. The most famous one being Richard Ramirez. Also, a lot of people have committed suicide in that hotel. They jumped off the rooftop, overdosed. Like, it's a super long list of people that have committed suicide. It was also the last place the Black Dahlia was seen. Just overall, there has been a lot of deaths within its walls. So a few days after she checked in, she was found dead floating on the hotel's water tank. She was face down, completely naked, and her clothes were floating around her. And the only way that she was found was because customers were complaining about the water pressure, the color of the water. At first it came out black and then it turned clear, and then they complained about the taste of the water. Ugh. She had been laying there for 18 days. So people had been drinking the water from her decomposing body for 18 days. Even though she was on this trip by herself, she was staying in the room with a couple other people, and her roommates were complaining about odd behavior. So she was eventually switched into another room. But the last footage the hotel had of her was the creepiest detail in this story. This video has been altered a lot. It was sped up, it was slowed down, it was stretched. People say that a whole minute was cut off from the recording. She is acting super strange. It looks like she's hiding from somebody. She steps out of the elevator, quickly like turns. The weirdest part is that the elevator doors are not closing, even though at some point she's standing far away from it. So I'm sure the sensors like don't detect her, I mean. So I did cut some parts of it myself because the video was kind of long and there were some parts where she was out of the frame. So I had to cut some parts out. The hotel claims that there were no other cameras outside of the elevator. Why isn't there a camera outside of the elevator or in any other part or a part of the hallway to see what she was pointing at, who she was talking to maybe? But let's get into the theories. Like, a lot of people think that she was on drugs, and because she was bipolar and she had depression, she was taking a few medications, and people say that maybe she was on some type of hallucinogenic drug. So maybe she was seeing things that led her to act this way. Maybe she thought she was being followed. But when her autopsy report came in, there were no signs of any type of drug in her system, including her medication. But she was in the tank for 18 days. So, and I'm sure, well, I've heard that the body keeps working after you're dead for a long time. It takes a minute for it to just completely shut down. So how long does the body take to you know, like digest or like move her medication or a drug? So there are 4 ways to get to the roof. 3 of those being fire escapes that are only available in the 14th and the 15th floor. Then the 4th one is a door that leads to the rooftop, but it sets off an alarm when the door is opened. And there were no alarms heard that day. So a lot of people suspect that it is foul play, because maybe she was led to the roof with an employee. An employee is the only one that could get a person to the rooftop. How was she getting the 10 feet tank? Remove the lid, take her clothes off or take them off in the tank. We don't even know which happened first, and then put the lid back on. Like, she would not have been able to do that if she was already floating in the water. But because there have been a lot of deaths in that hotel, people think that maybe it was something paranormal. They think that maybe it was a ghost that led her to the roof and took the lid off and put the lid back on. But I don't see a ghost being very likely. I do believe in ghosts, but I don't think it's very likely that a ghost did it. Another super interesting theory is that maybe her or some other person were trying to recreate the movie Dark Water. In this movie, it's basically the exact same situation as the Elisa Lam case. She was found in a water tank, naked. People were complaining about the color and the taste of the water. But the scariest thing is that the person in the movie and Elisa Lam were wearing very similar outfits. The 2 next theories talk about the government. So around that time, around like those years that she passed away, there was this little tuberculosis epidemic going on, and it was called Lam Elisa. Way too similar. So people theorize that maybe Elisa Lam was not a real person and she never existed. And maybe it was made up by the government so that people wouldn't freak out when hearing about Lam Elisa, and when searching her up on the internet, everything about Elisa Lam would pop up instead of Lam Elisa. Also, people think that maybe she knew too much about this invisibility cloak that was being constructed in Canada, so it could be used in wars or by military. I don't think that she knew too much, because on her vlog it was only a shared link. Elisa Lam's case was ruled a accidental drowning, which I don't know why they would do that, because it does not seem accidental at all. Oh, but real quick before I forget, the autopsy report was supposed to come in 1 week after she was found dead, but it actually came in 4 months after she was found dead, and they were not cooperating with Elisa's family. I found it really weird and sketchy that they were not telling Elisa's family anything, and the autopsy report came with those results, and her death was ruled an accidental drowning. Like, that doesn't add up to me at all. I just feel really extremely bad for the family, because maybe they won't even ever get closure on what happened to their daughter. Like, I'm positive the police and the hotel are hiding something, especially the hotel, because they already have a horrible reputation. So this other huge case of a death would just add to the horrible history of that hotel. This case just scares me, it creeps me out. Like, there's no good explanation for anything, and no solid answers from even the police. It's just extremely creepy. But thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, give me a comment down below, and if you are new, again, please subscribe. Keep your minds open, and I will see you, you will see me, and we will see each other on my next video.